We all know climate change doesn't exist. Record low temperatures and massive amounts of snow. Where the hell is global warming? These are the words of President Trump. Statistical evidence as well as 65 million pages of Google results say otherwise. My visual will be a Climate Change 101 video for those of you that don't know the science behind greenhouse gases. Multiple gases are trapped in the atmosphere which are changing the world. Greenhouse gases are affecting glaciers, weather, ocean, air, and are increasing death rates rapidly. The climate change can be halted. We just all need to come together to make sure that happens. Slight temperature rise can cause drastic transformations in our planet. Greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, methane, ozone, and nitrous oxide, trap heat, which increase the Earth temperature. Some factors that increase greenhouse gases are burning of fossil fuels, overpopulation, and pollution. Carbon dioxide levels have increased by more than a third since the early 19th century, or the Industrial Revolution. Science term the word global warming instead of climate change, since winds and currents move heat around the world, cooling and heating different parts of the world at the same time, which causes the amount of rain and snow falling differ between regions, which means climate change affects different parts of the world where some parts become more wet while others become more dry. Earth's climate shifts back and forth like the temperatures we see today, but those changes happen over hundreds of thousands of years, not a mere hundreds of years that we've seen happen recently. Climate change is becoming a problem since the rapid rise of the greenhouse gases are changing the climate so fast some animals are unable to adapt the rapid change and are becoming extinct. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, surface temperatures rose around 2 degrees Fahrenheit between the Industrial Revolution and present day every year. Deforestation is a large contributor to excess CO2 in the atmosphere and the second largest human-made source of carbon dioxide, which releases 1 billion tons of carbon in the atmosphere per year. The most visual effect of climate change is the melting of glaciers and sea ice. The North Pole is proceeding twice as quickly as expected, and there's a 99% chance from scientists that this is from global warming. The North Pole is a huge effect of the ice in the Arctic because it has hit a record low in 2016, and scientists believe that this is a problem because ice reflects sunlight back into this space, which allows our Earth to be cool. If we don't have ice caps and glaciers, the ocean absorbs all the sunlight, increasing the ocean's temperature, and the greenhouse gases will become trapped, and there's no way to cool our planet. As the world warms, it becomes drier. The air becomes less dense, and the rainfall becomes scarce in some parts of the world. Including the southwest and central parts of the U.S. are experiencing decade-long mega droughts, which are harsher than anything we've seen in human history. They are the first regions to get droughts, but soon scientists believe that the Mediterranean, Central America, Indonesia, Western Australia, and California will also be having a drought soon. And without precipitation, there's no water, which means there's no meaning to life except in the sea. Higher temperatures are worsening many types of disasters, like floods and droughts. The warmer climate creates an atmosphere. Extreme weather events are costing at least $1 billion in losses. Droughts jeopardize the access to clean drinking water and fuel out-of-control wildfires and create dust storms, extreme heat events, and flash flooding in some states that they've never seen before. While warmer waters in parts of the world promote most infestations and unhealthy air, creating foodborne and even waterborne illnesses and disease-carrying insects like fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes. The most immediate impacts from global warming are seen below the waves, especially in the ocean. Oceans absorb carbon dioxide and decline the pH of the water, which result in a decline of shellfish and even coral, which makes the ocean more acidic, and that means many animals that rely on coral to survive, they won't be able to survive without the coral and they'll die and become extinct. Um, this coral bleaching, which is the decrease of pH, means that they lose their vivid colors, algae, and nutrients that the corals and other fish around the coral need to survive. As well as in the ocean, humans also need to survive in less heat. Children, elderly, and even low-income communities are affected in a variety of indirect ways. As temperature rises, illness, emergency room visits, and death rates also rise. Some people don't have air conditioning or can't afford it, so they go a whole week straight with these huge 100+ temperature and they can't go down, so that means that heat stroke, exhaustion, and even kidney disease arise. Fortunately, this is not the end. Government officials are proposing steps to reverse climate change. It cannot be reversed naturally because that could take millions of years, scientists say. Big shifts of energy production need to be changed, like fossil fuels, to less carbon-intensive sources. On a smaller scale, though, everyone can help. By driving non-diesel cars, especially. Air leaks of hot air during the winter can make the furnaces work harder and account to 15 to 25% of home release or gain heat throughout the year. Cutting out meat is a big thing because it reduces emissions by roughly 3 tons annually. Buying a new refrigerator and air conditioner are twice as efficient as the older models, and they're energy saving, which can save you money as well. LED light bulbs as well can save around 15% on energy bills. And lastly, you should also always wash your clothes in cold water. It saves 5 times the amount of hot water, and it could save your bill as well. Throughout this presentation, I've shown you how fossil fuels can change our climate, how it has affected us personally and indirectly. I hope that you take this into consideration and go to your local legislation to help on a smaller scale and on a bigger scale. Thank you so much.